Hey everyone, this is Peter 24/7 from Project Ghost with another WarDragons diary. So we're on the last few hours of the Gauntlet event, and then shortly after that, or as the bubbles drop, Fight for Glory, the new event, will be starting. So we're excited to see how Atlas will be at that bubble drop. I have been diligently building troops, and this PvP, we started off very well. We had, as it was a holiday for our United friends in the United States, we did have a little bit of activity that was a bit lower. So we have dropped a bit. We were maintaining first for a while. We have one more PvP coming up, so we might be able to push and stay in the top 5. But as you can see how close the points are, if we lose the next PvP, we'll drop to the top 10. And if we win the PvP, we'll probably just stay here, because there's no way that these top teams are going to lose 4 million points. So we are doing our best. I have enough rubies. I did purchase one set of draconic chests yesterday because I needed some more inner fires. Just so everybody knows, my pulls were the same as usual. I got 60 inner fires from it, so nothing to really be happy about. So I'm hoping now that I have 9,000 rubies again that I'll get more inner fires, but let's see. So we're gonna open that together. Please. Oh, 1,000 sigils, so can't complain. And 300 inners. No. So still crap. But I have 2 weeks until, well, a week and a half until the next PvP, so we'll see how that goes. So, as you can see here, I'm back up to 31,000 sigils, so I have almost enough to finish the entire tower line when it does come out. As you all know, I've been saving for that, and upon completion of that, I'm going to continue to save until the Festive Dragon comes out in week 9. So I'll save up, and once again the goal is to have 95,000 sigils before the end of the season, so I can get all 600 chests. So we're going to diligently fight for that. We'll see how we do. I'm doing very well right now. The 31,000 sigils will get me the next 3. So when Fort starts, I will have enough to progress this. I have enough timers to get through and build stuff and probably max the event, or at least get to the 11 million mark and then stop. And then that'll give me the last of the sigils I need to finish that line, which will put me to 18 keys. Then I'll probably finish off the Cosmic Ori as well. As you can see, I have stopped here. Now I am waiting for the tower to come out because it will have the 20% boost on it as well. So I want to make sure I'm optimizing how many resources I can get for tower building. Now, I did have a question to my last vlog. As an end game player, what tips do you have for lower level players to set themselves up to be a success long term? Fort event is coming up. Tips for making a strong kill island and support base. So lower people, a common mistake that people make is they build out too far. So as you can see here, I'm built out all the way up here, but all of my biggest towers are on these 3 islands. So I have some other big towers, but they're not really max, and it's not really considered a kill island. I do have them at the back here so that they can, my 70% is about here. They have to get to this island before they get to 70%, so it slows people down. But it is very expensive to have an entirely maxed base. You want to make sure you're setting up your base and positioning it so that your rider covers your best towers, and you want to work on one section at a time. So when I build and the new tower levels come out, I'll max one island. So if you are a level 300 player, you would have one island, you would max the tower on all of those, and then you would start one tower at a time, getting your next island up. So start with one island, max it out, expand your second one, max it out, expand your third one, max it out. Now the only way to get timers and keep up with building is to be active in the game. So Atlas gives you timers, place them well in regular events and Atlas events. They will give you extra timers. Everything counts. I like to focus my missions on eggs, but you can also switch these to timers as well by hitting the toggle. So I'm okay for timers, but I know that on my wife's account, timers haven't really been an issue. She'll build up to the highest level she can go, and then she gets capped out by the builder's hut, which you need the eggs to build. So if you can keep up with your base size, you keep your dragons and your bases, build to as high as you can go with all your timers, work on one island at a time. Once that gets maxed, pace yourself. If you don't have the eggs to upgrade your builder's hut, wait until breeding event. Do not start building your next one, because when you get to breeding event, now with the discounts that they have for these dragons, you may open up your builder's hut several times, and if you expand too much, your level will increase, but the effectiveness of your base will not. So just your level doesn't mean everything. You want to focus on the tower levels. So the highest level you can get to on each tower is where you want to get to at the end of each fort. So if the max level you can get to is 90, push everything to level 90 on one section, then you can start thinking about the other one. But plan ahead. Once breeding comes, you'll get the eggs you need to build to upgrade your builder's hut, and you will probably unlock it. You want to wait till fort to continue on your main island. So when you get to level 550, I believe that's the level that you are at to have 15 level 125 or 100 end game towers. So keeping your base with as big towers as possible is ideal, and you want to avoid having to merge. So when I was level 300, when I was high 300s, it was a long time ago, my base was up to here, and they didn't have that merge tool. I threw everything in the storage. I did shorten it, and I did consolidate my efforts, but learn from my mistakes. Merging puts you back a lot. So if you know the towers and the setup that you want and the towers that you want to use, plan accordingly. The more flax you have, the more resources it's going to cost, the more special towers. So things like lightning or storm or mage towers, they don't take any special resources other than wood. So they're usually easier to level up and maintain bases, but they are less effective. So you want to budget yourself depending on how many embers and everything you have. If you're a mild spender, you could probably have 5 or 6 flax like I do here. I'm a mild spender. At least I used to be. I used to spend quite a bit on the game, but not so much anymore. So the upkeep is very expensive. So it gets to the point where these are costing, each upgrade will cost 12, 13, 14,000 embers each. So the upkeep is very expensive, so you want to make sure that you don't push yourself to the point where you won't be able to upgrade a tower. You always want to be able to do that. So you want to make sure on your bases you have, I think, in my opinion, having an Earth Flacker Storm to shield the towers that are there, having an Ice Flak or a blue mage. Ice Flak is great because it'll actually stun the dragon, and it'll actually stop the dragon from being able to use any type of rage. It'll freeze the rage bar, and it'll freeze the spells, so they won't be able to cast any spells if the super shot does trigger. Now, on top of that, there's Dark Flak and the Red Mage. Now, the other ones are interchangeable. I like this setup. There's a lot of people like to use cannons and stuff like that, but not many dragons are using shields anymore, and even if they do, the likelihood of you being able to get your cannon to actually hit it and clear it is unlikely, so I actually find the cannon not to be as effective. This being said, a lot of the recent spells and dragons have the elemental resist, so flaks, they're protected from flaks as well. But I think a good setup for starting setup would be using this island here, make it a double and set it up similar to something like this. You have your long range attack towers at the back, so they can get off attacks and hit the dragon as it's approaching. The Cosmic Ori is a good one as well. Mine's a low level, so I'm not using it at the moment, but it's a good one to use instead of a Storm. Once I get my Cosmic Ori to level 125, it's going to be replacing this Storm Tower somewhere on my placing, but having at the back 3 lightning towers, the more lightning towers you have on one section, the stronger the super shot is. So combining them together, they're very good for taking out hunters, and they've got a good range on them. So while the dragon comes up and it's attacking your front towers, the lightnings will start to trigger, and they do complement each other. So if you actually look at mine, I have here, sorry, not that one, this one here. I'm lightning heavy, so I'm focusing on lightning to boost the lightning attack there, and then I have my original setup up here. So if you're a lower player, I would focus on 2 kill islands, no more than that. Have your farms at the back because you want them to keep going all the way till the end of your base. Make sure your totem is there as well, adjusted to the most common dragon being used. Right now Zul is very common against my base, so I have the fire totem. And you want to set it up for towers that will do damage, stun the dragon, drain the rage, and then get killed at the back. So something similar to this, maybe this type of setup back here, and then the lightnings in the back with the howitzer to take down the dragon. So I think the biggest advice I could give you is to focus on one area at a time. Max one section, then move on to the next. Max that section, then worry about uncapping. So don't rush. The higher levels you get, the more timers you're going to need to maintain your base, especially if you build out. So do not get too far ahead of yourself, because you'll get to a point where you are capped by your builder's hut, and that's the last thing you want. You want to be able to keep up with your builder's hut. So if you cannot level your towers anymore until you upgrade this and you're missing the eggs, it means you're behind on the breeding. So focus on upgrading your storage hut or other things that don't increase your level. Remember, glory payout is based on your base level. Just because you're a high level does not mean you necessarily have a good base. So that would be my advice. I hope I answered your question. There's a funny thing. There was a conversation in Sapphire 1. I'm not in the league, but I did get all the screenshots. And it was interesting to know that apparently Creators Faction, or at least one of the representatives on Creators Faction, believes that Peter from Project Ghost is the one who created the imbalance in Atlas is very interesting, and I'd like to understand why they think that I broke Atlas. Apparently, I am the cherry on the top, on top of all the problems. But I'll leave that up to discussion. I'm not looking too much into it. This person has never really liked me anyways, so to each their own. When their team decided to go pirate, they decided that they were going to be raiding us, which is great. You know, come and raid us. It's not like we're not raided already. But it was just a funny thing that I saw that was sent to me from the League chat in Sapphire 1, where there's a lot of trolls in the game, and I don't have to say that for anybody to know or see that already. So anyways, that's the funny thing that happened, or the funny thing that I saw today. I'm going to spend the rest of this time trying to rest. I've got 3.5 hours left of rest before Bubble Drop. The next event coming out is Fight for Glory. Keep in mind, I am about 7 or 8 episodes before my next song. So if you have any topics you'd like me to base a song on, or any base songs that you'd like me to use, please post it in the comments. Let me know. I do have one comment or one recommendation already, and I will be choosing from those. So thank you all for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to hit subscribe. And if you have any questions, comments, or topics of songs that you want me to sing, post in the comments and I'll start to prepare. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.